Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Pick one you like. I hope you've been having a great day, and I hope everybody is ready for a spot of stitching. So, today, this is the piece I'm going to be working on. It's the quilt room. I think this is the quilt room. Let me double check. I should know by now. It's a quilting room. It's from one of our favorite artists, Cairo Machete. You pick one you like, and this is such a colorful and whimsical and vibrant piece. And if you don't believe me, let me show you. Look at that. Look at that. I love design that's got the view looking out of the window, because you've got the inside that is so cozy and beautiful. Just look at all the textile, the fabric, and the cushions. I love design that's got fabric and colorful things in it. And look at the shelf on the right there. It's got the colorful yarn and those beautiful flower baskets. You can't ask for more. And plus a beautiful view outside. And you feel so safe on the inside and doing things you love. That's what we're doing here. We're stitching together. So this is the piece I'm working on today. It's a mini version and it's from Heaven and Earth, of course. And let me just show you where we are today. So I'm going to track my progress with Pattern Keeper here. So yesterday we used Saga, and some projects I just love using Pattern Keeper. Is still one of the easiest to use apps out there. So currently I'm on 19.64. I've been around, easing toward 20% for a little while, and I aim to get even closer today. I don't think you can go backwards. Maybe you can if I start frogging, right? And of course, I'm starting from, well, that has happened. So zero stitch today. And so in totality, let me just show you. Let me zoom out. This is a mini, about 9 pages worth of stitching here. And from my experience, Heaven and Earth page, I mean, each company's got their own sort of definition. There's no hard and fast rules here, but they tend to be larger pages in terms of stitch counts. So 9 pages is, fair bit. It's mini, but it's by no means small. And as you can see, I've been pretty good so far going diagonally. I haven't got many projects that I actually follow the diagonal rules, even though I always intend to. But this one I've done relatively well. I went from sort of mini cross country and go into, as you can see, some parking going on there. So the situation is a little bit unclear right now. As you can see on the right there, let me zoom in a little bit more. On the right there, I've got some cross country from the last session as well. So I'm kind of transitioned into different stitching method as usual. The only thing that's constant with my stitching is never constant. And so my stitching method is ever changing, just like this live stream, and we never know what we're going to get every day. And every day is a surprise, and always a nice surprise. So I'll explain a little bit about what I'm going to do today. But before that, of course, I'm going to look to the chat and see who's the winner today. Salita, you take a medal today. You're the first one to report to the chat. She says, hello, Yogi, and fellow stitchers. Hope everyone is doing well. Let me just pull my tablet a little bit closer. And wherever you are, happy stitching. Yet indeed, that's what we're doing today. We're getting together and we're just happily stitching with each other and chat with each other. And Sarah is here as well. She says, hello, everyone. Gretty, hello. I'm so happy about your Gecko Rouge kid has arrived. And if you've seen my Gecko Rouge project, Gretty has got the same pattern, but she's going to be stitching on 28 counts, which is smaller than my 25. So I'm really looking forward to see the progression. And Steve is here as well, of course, our gentleman stitcher here. I hope you're well. The yarn work is working well. And Nikki is here as well. Hello, Nikki. And Lorene as well. Today I got your name correctly, didn't I? She says, hello, everyone. Leslie's here as well. Hello, Leslie. Jennifer Burr. Hello, Jennifer. Busy Mom is here. Yes, she is joining us with next week's. And so on Wednesday, the new Kim Jacob piece we're going to start together. And she says, hi, everyone. I'm excited about this stitch. I just started this last weekend, but only about 200 stitches. I don't know which piece you're working on. I must know. Pray tell. And Wendy is here as well. Naomi Wallace, hello. And Susan Chamberlain, Lakika, hello. Stitchy friends, happy stitching. Yes, Kristen Carrison as well. Hello. And Frankie is also here. Hello, Frankie. And Suzanne, of course, Suzanne is here. Oh, man. So, Reva is here as well. Let's keep going. Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Hi. It's always have some new names adding to the chat panel. It's so exciting. A lot of lurkers are coming out. You know, today may be your day, lurkers. And Paduhi is here, hello. And Rajal is here as well. I hope you're recovering with the eyes. And Claire, hello, Claire Thomas. And Stitchy Pfeiffer as well, hello. And Jan Dow is here as well. Oh my goodness, so good to have you here with me. So I can't wait for a spot of stitching. It's been a very busy day for me. But, you know, this time of the evening is always my moment of peace and fun and everything nice. So let me know what power drinks you're drinking and what project you're working on. Today, as usual, I've got some leftover black coffee there and a nicely newly brewed peppermint tea. So let me explain what I'm going to do today. So last session, if I remember correctly, I've been working through those part threads and attempt to transition into cross-country, mini cross-country of some sort. And today I'm going to continue with that process. You know, I love the transitional period because, you know, sometimes when you going from cross-country to parking, you start planting the seeds. But now I'm doing the other way. But I am not going to clear off all the park threads here. There's quite a lot of park threads here. So what I'm going to do is focus on this section. It's got quite a lot going on here. It's part of the window and looking out. You can see a little bit of scenery out there, but also you have these beautiful stained windows. That's so pretty. And so from here, I'm going to work around, focus on this area and just do a sort of easy cross country today. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm really loving cross country right now. And, you know, I'm getting more and more daring. You know, I travel a little bit further down. Nikki is leading me straight there. So I'm practicing and going out of my comfort zone a little bit. So every day, I try to give myself a little bit of a small challenge, you know, doing something that's a little bit different. And today I might actually venture a little bit further if it makes sense. I don't want to get lost and need, you know, GPS device just to come back. That wouldn't be fun. But today I'm going to just work through these part threads first, clear up the space, and then I'm going to continue to work on around this area. Okay, no fixed plans here. We just go by ear, you know. Wherever is fun, I'll be there, and I hope you'll be there too. Oh my goodness, Kelly Quilts Plus is here as well. Hello. I think she attempted to say Fran and stitches. And oh, hello. And Suzanne is working on the Valentine Nook. Yes, that's one of our Wednesday sale from Kim Jacobs. So I kind of rotate, these two pieces. And from next week, we have one more piece to add to the Kim Jacobs rotation. We're introducing AOI rather, and a group of us. The number is getting bigger as we speak. We're starting together next Wednesday, and this new piece, the quoting room. And if you wonder what it is, I'll talk about it a little bit more later on. First thing first, let me warm up my needles, warm up my fingers and my wrist. And prepare and deep breaths, ujjayi breaths. And I'm gonna start to make my first few stitches here. So I am going to pick these two remaining part threads here. I'm gonna work from the bottom up and see where it takes me. So it's a journey of unknown, it's full of adventure, and I hope you are here with me. Let's have a look. Double checking the color here, because last time I have a feeling that I did not mark certain stitches properly. As you can see, I can already see one here that's not being marked. Let me just rectify, let me right the wrong here. So here, let me find out what it is exactly. Why is there an orange? That would be this one. Yes, I got it. So I'm using Pattern Keeper here. And, oh, Sarah is drinking coffee and working on Monarch of the Glen. Oh, Sarah has been wild. Sarah has been extreme cross-country, ECC, with no helmet and no gridding. I ask you, who does that? But Sarah does it all. So she's competitive. She's trying to race against Nikki with the speed and, without any safety equipment there. Oh, I'm going to keep my eyes closed. I'm not getting involved. You two can duke it out, okay? I'm not getting involved. Here. So I don't even think this color is correct. I don't know what I was doing last week. Let me see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's this one. Got it. I've got it. So here and that one. Oh, thank God you can't see my Pattern Keeper. Otherwise, you'll be pointing at me and point out all the errors I've been making. Seriously. And and Jam Doll is here as well. Mini red umbrella in the rain for me, and Pepsi Max. Well, that is a controversial choice. Pepsi or Coke? Which one? Oh, are you the Pepsi person or the Coke person? Let me know. For me, I have to say I do enjoy an occasional Diet Coke. Pepsi tastes different to me. Maybe just a matter of getting used to. I'm always more of a Coca-Cola person. And so this one, I am going to end the thread here because this is the last one in this area. So I'm clearing part thread number 1 out of the way. And the method of ending, I am going to just do a easy tuck in. Maybe no boomerang today. But if you want to see how to do boomerang with full cross, I might just show you how to do it if anyone is requesting. Otherwise, I am doing a little tuck in here. And let me locate my little thread cutter here. So single strand, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, 25 counts, no gridding, no pre-gridding, so I grid myself. And single strand full cross. Okay, this is the deal for this piece here, and I'm sticking with it. So pass thread 2 here, and Susan Chamberlain is working on Autumn Town, drinking dilute orange and pineapple. Is it fizzy or non-fizzy? I wonder. Oh God, my Siri has come on early today in the stream. Normally he would try to intervene. Oh, hello. Please go away, Siri. You and I, we need to talk. You know, it's you, not me. All right. And please go away. Go away. Siri's always trying to butt in because he's lonely. He's lonely. I don't use him much. I don't use him much, and he's always trying to pretend that I'm actually talking to him. I'm not, okay? Just stay where you are and be good. And Nikki says put a helmet on. Yes, exactly. Oh, I'm going through the chat here. And Nikki, Coke Zero. Nikki, you need to tell me what is the main difference between Coke Zero and Diet Coke? You're not telling me that Diet Coke has got calories, like 1 calorie. Therefore, Coke Zero is better. Do not tell me that. So this one over here, I'm going to just tilt my fabric a little bit downwards so I can see better. I know, controversial, isn't it? The choice of your Coke. And Jennifer Burr, I'm going back to the chat trying to catch up. Oh, Claire Thomas says, I've changed projects tonight, taking a break from the complicated one to a bookmark. That's very nice. But bookmark doesn't mean it's not complicated, is it? It's still, by bookmark, you're probably referring to those story keep from Heaven and Earth. But it can still be confetti, couldn't it? It's just a little bit smaller, so don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. A lot of times when I want to kind of, just go for some easy stitching, I do 14 counts. 14 count is my reset pieces. The stitches are nice and big, and I just stitch mostly cross country of some kind, mini distance. Let me move this down a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. And so I'm wondering a little bit further, if I ever go to an on-grid area, I am breaking the boundary right here. So let me grab my pencil. I am just going to darken this existing line a little bit more. I'm using just a regular pencil here. Let me just trace it over there. So, beyond this point, it's not gridded. How exciting. I am going to just extend the lines a little bit. But you've got to be quite careful when you draw a line and extend it from the lines that are already there. I have done in the past, maybe it's just me. I keep drawing, and drawing, but I just kind of slide to the next block and start continuing the line. And when the lines are so fine, sometimes you don't see that you're one row off. So just so just want to remind you that, just in case there's some of you as clumsy as me, which probably not that many. So I'm going to count carefully. If I count it wrong, just shout in caps, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I got it correctly, let me recount. I do not trust myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. What do you think? So here I'm going to extend, draw a new line. Whoa. Very exciting. So there. Yes, Diet Coke has different tastes. Coke Zero tastes more like the real one. You should try it. Really? I should, shouldn't I? Because I do like the taste of Diet Coke, so I kind of stick with it. But Coke Zero, I don't know if it's a good thing to taste like real Coke, because real Coke is more sweet. Is that a good thing? I like the fact that Diet Coke is not very sweet at all, at least for my taste bud. So, I don't know how far I'm going to wander. I think I'm going to come across and do one stitch here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because I'm starting to get a little bit nervous here. Just in case I got my stitches in the wrong location. And it's all wrong from this point. 1, 2, 3. Let me do it then. 1, 2, 3. 2. Man. I'm wandering into a no grid area. Sarah, don't get excited, okay? I'm gridding, okay? But just for the surrounding stitches here, I'm going to leave the gridding alone for this block. Just 2 more here, and then I'm gonna end it. I'm definitely going to end it, okay? This is it. This is my limit, or I'm going to start to suffer from shorter breaths and all sort of unpleasant symptoms live here on Yogi Stream. You don't want me fainting live on the live stream, would you? Don't answer it. Don't. Okay, I am going to end it here right now. 890. So I've got my needle board on my right here for single strand needles. 890. So I am going to park this here for later use. 890, where are you? Seriously. 890. Got it. Renee's here as well. Hello, hello. Yeah, I have to go back and greet everyone because Adri wasn't very happy yesterday, was she? She was like saying, Yogi's ignoring me. No, I'm not ignoring anybody. If I don't see you, it's because I just missed it, okay? Alison is here as well. Alison, Renee, welcome. She says, evening all, still working on which in training. Cherry Pepsi Max for me tonight. Wow, another Pepsi drinker. What's the difference between Pepsi and Pepsi Max? This is like an entire seminar we need to go on just to learn about those drinks. Seriously. Kelly says, I like Coke Zero too with vodka. Whoa, here we go. Here's a new combination right here. We're grown-ups. Why not? We can have vodka in our Coke if we want to. And now I've cleared up the 2 part threads there, and I think what I'm going to do is to start sort of mini cross country here, maybe wander a little bit further if I want to, and then come back and maybe clear off a couple of these ones. So, divide and conquer. It's more fun that way. So I am going to pick a color, 3799, 3799. Yes, I've got it. And I'm very happy it's a slightly darker color. It's nice to work on something that's a little bit darker to start with, just to warm up And here we go. Oh, Gretty is saying that I'm filling in the gaps in Sweet Shops. Sweet Shop is such a beautiful piece. I keep wanting to come back whenever I have some time. I just want to grab it and start stitching. It's like a delicious treat just looking at those colors. Let me move it down a little bit more here. And 2 stitches here. 1, 2. Beautiful. And then 1 down here. Ooh, I messed up a few stitches here. That's quite okay. 1, 2. Here, let me tease it off. And 1, 2 here, and maybe 1 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. And Joyce is here as well. Say hello to Joyce. Steve, I don't know what it's about. Oh, Steve says I'm on cream soda. What is a cream soda cake? I know cream soda. Is it like soda with ice cream, vanilla ice cream taste? But what is the ice cream soda? What is a cream soda cake? That sounds very exotic. And Serena is here as well. Hello, Serena. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Let me see. I am over here. Oh, this is a new adventure right here. So this piece, for some reason, I've been doing block by block quite a lot for some reason, because some parts are so confetti. No kidding. If you think mini is easier, think again. Heaven and Earth mini in some way might be more confetti than regular because they share similar number of colors. You know, you do a regular color, full colors, and a mini. Most of them are around 90 colors. So think about it, do the math. And the same number of colors, smaller area, it probably means more confetti, more concentration of color changes, right? So mini is not an easier option, I don't think. It might be smaller, but it doesn't mean it's easier to stitch. So I am going to end this color here because this is the last one. I just automatically want to do a boomerang. It's so weird. I just automatically wanting to leave a loop and thread it through because I've been doing so frequently. It's become part of my body. Let's have a look. So this one is over here. 3799, 3799. Pop it back. 3799. Yes. Today I have my little fox here. Is Brandy here as well? I didn't see Brandy. Hello, Brandy. Oh yes, Brandy is here. She says hi all. I can only stay for about 30 minutes before taking the kids to another hike. I have missed watching the last couple of days. Oh, you have to catch up. A lot of good stuff, Brandy. But kids come first, most of the times anyway. That's a good practice, good practice. Kids come first, you know. So, so I hope you enjoy the 30 minutes here. Sarah says, I love cream soda. I haven't seen the explanation of what a cream soda is. Let me scroll through. Maybe it's there. And Joyce is working on dry flowers and wet water. Wet water. Dry flowers and wet water, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Joyce here, okay? Just to get some idea of what we have to put up every day. You know, dry flowers and wet water, everyone. National treasure. The Joyce is. And I'm going to go for the next color. It's got a few more stitches involved. Why not? 992. 992. I need to introduce a new thread. 992. My master set is getting slightly unruly here. I've got all things going on there. And very tempting to give it a tidy up there. 992. I do it from time to time, but sometimes when it gets so unruly, maybe something a bit more drastic is in order. 992. 992 here. There you go. And I happened to grab one of those gold needles that squeaks. Okay, so we might hear some nice sound effect there. Can you see that? It's actually gold. You know, this is not QVC, but you know, you can see the glow there. There you go. These are beautiful, but they make funny noises when you stitch. So I don't know what the deal is. And twice as much the price for the special sound effect. No way, Nikki says, my quilting room is not gridded? Oh, you mean you got a plain fabric? But you can grid yourself, right? Do you not grid yourself? Because I noticed the studio piece that you're doing, the 32 counts, you've got a gridded fabric. And for the new start, you decided to go with no gridding. But are you planning to do no gridding at all? Is that what we're talking about here? Or you're going to grid yourself? I mean, you know, I'm gridding myself. I'm a normal person. You know, I'm not reckless. I stitch safely, okay? Stitch safely, everyone. Wear your helmet if you're going on risky moves. If you're trying to do a yogi move, you know, make sure you warm up and make sure you land safely, okay? No one needs to get injured here. So this is part of the ceiling that I'm doing here. Selita says the sugar-free dye, zero Coke, they have the aspartame. Oh yes, I know, the sweetener. It's artificial sweetener in them. Yes, I know. That's why I'm feeling a little bit guilty when I drink Diet Coke, but it's delicious sometimes. You know what it's like. It's a balance of life. You can't be good all the time. What am I doing? I'm doing, oh my goodness. You see what I'm doing here? Has anybody noticed what I'm doing here? I've been doing a lot of 2/1 in the past few days. I just automatically fold the thread in 2 and start loop start. And I was thinking, why is this so thick? Oh man, seriously, I am, I've done 3 stitches before I realized. I was thinking, why does it feel so tight? On 25 counts, two strand full cross. Because I've been doing 2/1 for the last few days. It's become part of my body again. I've got quite a lot of things I've just start to attach on my body. Look at what I'm doing here. Seriously. Let me grab my tweezer. Some more extreme instruments might need to be involved to undo this situation. Oh, and I would just so focus on the Coca-Cola, the Diet Coke conversation. Seriously. This is 1/1 full cross. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. And as I was advising everybody to stitch safely, and I started to stitch 2 strand full cross. There you go. I'm gonna just stitch over it. No one will see. Other than it's on the internet forever. Oh man. You will have the evidence. If at any point I deny this ever happened, you're gonna pull out this particular stream and a timestamp. I knew it. 922. 922. 992. Okay, read carefully, stitch safely, everyone. 992. Okay, new strand, new start. Okay, and you didn't see it, I didn't do it. Let's call the whole thing off. It's a Man in Black moment. Why zap you? And you do not remember what has just happened. Oh, here's a new thread. So I'm going to stitch these 3 colors. There you go. Oh, Rose is here. Hello, Rose. Hello, hello. Jan says, I like minis and confetti, but no Diet Coke or cross country for me. So what is the method of your choice then? Do you practice safe stitching method? Like, no cross country, just good old fashioned block by block. Very sensible, if that's the case. I'm going to stitch over it, okay? So you can't see it. I can't see it. Three stitches. And one more. Oh, Steve says cake just means what I'm enjoying lately. Okay. Okay, that's an expression that I'm not familiar with. So it's not like you're kicking your drinks or anything like that. That'd be dangerous. Okay, drink safely, Steve. But cream soda sounds delicious. But I try not to take too much sugar. So unless there's a diet version, sugar-free version, I probably will not know what it tastes like. I'm just wandering around freely, okay? This is the theme tonight. This is just me having a stroll in the neighborhood and occasionally pop down to the next village say hello, and try not to get lost on the way back. This is kind of the method today. So Joyce, you can award it a name. River says, I made the most amazing stir fry. 40, what? 40 tons of vegetables. Okay, River, we need to review this comment. 40 tons of vegetables. Are we talking about hyperbole or are we talking about literal? Did you actually weigh your vegetables? And the scale says 40 tons. Okay, just need to know. Suzanne says, no helmet, no parachute, no grid. Oh dear. Stitch safely, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want any stitching related injuries occurred here. Okay, live on Yogi Stream. One over in here, two. Try to carefully move over. I think that one is done. That one is done. I'm going down. Quite a few stitches of this color, which is quite nice for a change. For a change. Oh, Steve, no cream donuts today, Steve. So Steve says, I can eat 40 tons of stir fry and then be hungry in an hour. Oh dear. Oh, the tea is delicious. My peppermint tea. Kelly says, back later. I have to check my glaze instructions. Oh, are you cooking? Busy Mom says, when you're finished with the strand, are you putting it through the same hole and then come back another hole and cut the strand? Let me see. When you finish the stitch, are you putting it through the same hole and then come back? So with this method, when I'm doing full cross here, I tend to do a tuck in, right? So by that simply means, so I'm not ending this thread right now, but let me just explain to simulate the situation. So when I finish this stitch, I just do a normal full cross. And what I normally do is to find a nearby stitch that's similar in color, slightly, well, not too far away, few stitches away. So I might pick this one. So this one, for instance, and I'll put my thread through. So that's the stitch on my choice to do the tuck in. I put my needle through like that, bottom right corner normally, and then I just put my needle through the center, right? So I'm not going to do that now, but once I'm done, so let's pretend I'm putting my needle through the center there, and then I'll come away a few stitches away, 5, not too far away, and then pull it through like that and then snip it. So what happens is, you first of all, by picking a stitch that's slightly away from me from the end point, I'm already creating a tail underneath where if for any reason my ending comes loose, the chances are it will get stitched down along the way, right? And also I'm leaving another tail as I come up. So there's one sort of floating thread underneath through the unstitched area, and then a dangling tail, not too long. I don't like fluffy bottom. So, hello, did I just say that? Fluffy bottom of my work. Is there a better way of saying it? I'll try again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a family show. So, Brandy says my husband was in management at a Coke for a long for management at Coke, Coca-Cola for a long time. So I don't drink soda. Oh, I'm just sensing there's some inside information there. I kind of don't want to know because I might stop drinking Coke. It's like people who have been sort of serving at restaurants. They are very mindful when they go to restaurants because they know what could possibly happen in the kitchen. And that's very scary. That's very scary. I kind of don't want to know. 1, 2 here. 1, 2. Okay. 3. There's more, a few more here. Oh, Yogi. Steve says Yogi cream soda is vanilla flavor. That's kind of how I imagined it. It's like when you have soda, right? Like plain soda, and you have a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's like that, isn't it? It's every child's dream. That kind of soda. So, you're welcome, busy mom. Salita said, didn't see a thing. Yeah, play along, play along. Or I have to zap you. River, yeah. I mean, take care of what you have to do. The stream is archived, okay? So you can always watch later on. So if you have things you have to get on, you know, they come first. They come first. And for the rest of us, we're lucky to be here, free, that we can stitch away. But totally understand if you have things to get on with. 1, 2, one more row. I'm trying to see where I am right now. I have a feeling I probably have messed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Four. I think I'm all right. So Joyce, what is how do you grit? Oh yes, you use those pens, don't you? Those friction pens. I still haven't got it working. I haven't ordered a new one, but I suspect it's just I don't know. I did try with my existing friction pens, but still not gliding very well. So I'm using my pencil for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I am. Okay, that half stitch is an error, and I will stitch over it. No one will know, but I'm not gonna frog it. I'm gonna just leave it. Jen says, I park either block by block or diagonal. Yeah, it's actually quite sensible. And it's quite fun to do because it feels so organized, isn't it? And each block, when you finish, there's a sense of completion as well. So that's why quite enjoy it. You know, like this piece, quite a lot of block by block parking going on there, diagonal, as you know, the same way that you're doing now. But from time to time, I like to change it up, and then I'll miss parking block by block, and I'll come back, so on and so forth. So that's how I roll. Carrie is here. Hello, Carrie. She says, hello all. Life has been so busy. I missed so many lives, but catching on. I know. It's about finding time, finding space to sit down and do things you love to do. But well done. You made it today. Here. So these are done. And I think I'm gonna just take the thread over here. I'm gonna do a yogi move, okay? So I am ending on this point, and I'm going to take it over to the top there. But by doing so, I'm bringing the thread over to the stitch area, which I don't want to do. So what I normally do is to redirect my thread away from the area where I'm able to. I'll just do a quick pin stitch. Okay, this is the yogi move that you're watching live here on Yogi Stream. I'm doing a pin, simple pin. And now I can take the thread up. So there you go, 1, 2. Oh, it's known in the trade as yogi maneuver. Or call it whatever you want. Yeah. Right. So I'm in a new location. There are a few more stitches here I can do. Oh, Suzanne is back on Royal Rose. Suzanne is a great fan of Royal Rose there. Heather is here as well. Heather House. Hello. Happy Thursday, she says. Yes, absolutely. Sarah. Stop it, Sarah. Sarah says, did everyone see Yogi's 2,800 stitch count yesterday? Look who's competitive now. Yes, I did. It's on the video. It's on the internet forever. Saga, the app, doesn't lie. It says I have completed 2,800 stitches in 3 hours. Yay! Round of applause for Yogi. Sarah, you're so naughty, seriously. Oh no, that was an error, okay? Something happened to my app. Instead of maybe roughly about 200, okay? For some reason, it marked a whole bunch of stitches. I didn't know I was marking. And then gave me a beautiful stitch count, which did not happen, okay? Just so you know, full transparency. I did not stitch 2,800. Maybe one day, Nikki maybe can coach me, speed stitching. Joy says, try tilting your work when you grit. The fabric needs to be flat for the friction pen to work. Do you mean like completely flat? That's what I did. I think so. She says, you write in the wrong angle. But why would the pen be so pesky? It just doesn't write. I mean, people write in a certain angle, right? I personally blame the pens. You know, it's always someone else's fault, not mine. So even though it's working perfectly for Joyce, the pens just don't like me, okay? It's the same brand. I mean, slightly different version. I don't know the difference. But for some reason, you know, I've seen Joyce Stitchy Dutchies videos demonstrating it works perfectly. But my pens just, they don't like me. I might try again, but pencils are fine. I don't mind it. I mean, you can't see it anyway. I'm just stitching over the lines. There. Oh, Joyce's Royal Row as well. A lot of Royal Rowers. Let's see, where am I here? It's nice to do multiple stitches before you need to change color. Jacqueline's here as well. I'm trying to catch up. If I haven't greeted you, forgive me. I'm scrolling back. Jacqueline says, hi everyone. I bought my chickadees to the farmer this morning. Is it a kind of bird? I posted about 2 weeks' time. I'll post in about 2 weeks' time. To the framer. Oh, the peas, the name of your peas. I thought you literally take the birds to, I thought, what, to the farmer. I totally misread it. It somehow makes sense, you know. Birds, take your birds to the farmer. But no, it's taking my chickadees. I presume it's a project to the framer this morning. Does it take 2 weeks to frame? Maria is here as well. Hello, Maria. And just real quickly. Oh yeah, Sean. Sorry, Sean. Now I'm just seeing your comment here. Sean 83 says, "Good evening. Drinking a Coke, stitching on Forest Maiden, full of cold, but celebrating the Decode Me study results." Released today, my DNA was included. Oh, is that like a 23andMe? What is it? Decode Me. Yes, I've done 23andMe before during COVID because I was so bored. I was just thinking, tell me who I am. Just you know, maybe I'm sort of an Egyptian princess or something. But unfortunately, no. Very ordinary, very ordinary. So Sean, wow, that'll be interesting to find out. You know, your ancestry and everything. It's interesting to know. Interesting to know. I mean, you rarely get huge, you know, surprises, but it's fun to know. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Then they start shouting at me in caps, you know. And yeah, exactly. Sean 83 says, see, I'm not alone. I'm feeling so validated. Sean 83 says, Jacqueline totally read that as you took your chickens to the farmer. Totally. Our brain just takes over and read what we think it is. Exactly. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. My brain is not broken. To the framer. Suzanne says yogi move is the best. Yes, practice safely. Okay, when you make the move, warm up first and land safely. I'm going to do 3 more at the bottom. 2, 3. Oh, Suzanne says when referring to the friction pens, when it stops writing, tap the tips. I did try that. I did try that, Suzanne. It kind of works a little bit, and I can get the ink out, and then it start to go really fainty again. Maybe my pens are not the best batch. I don't know, because I only got the blue ones, but there are multiple pens, and they all work the same way. So it's not like one of them is broken. And I tried to tap because I remember you told me to. And then with limited success there. Brandy says 45 stitches in 30 minutes. And if you multiply that, 60 minutes would be like 100 stitches. Very nice, very nice. She says, time for a hike with 3 teenage girls. Well, good luck, yes. They'll probably race past you really quickly. Have fun, have fun. It's nice to know, and some of, for most of you probably, it's still daytime. See, and now I'm doing the tuck in, and I just take it slightly away, a few stitches away, so I leave a little tail there. Let me take a sip of my tea. Sean says regarding the DNA testing, is it the same as 23andMe? Is it for just DNA kind of swab that you send it to them? She said no, it's a big MECFS study that has shown for the first time that ME. Oh, ME is it as in the medical condition has genetic links. What is ME anyway? Because I used to know someone who suffered from that, but it just sounds so so vague because she just she has the kind of fatigue, permanent fatigue that she has, and she was very emotional about it. I remember. But on the surface, she looked fine. She could, move around and all sorts of stuff. But she would kind of, I can't remember the symptoms she described. I think just feeling tired and crashed all the time. That must be terrible to feel like that. But no one really know what the cause is, as far as I know. It's one of those sort of conditions some doctors don't even believe that it actually exists. 562. It's like there's another one that's really kind of mysterious as well. It's like Lyme disease or something like that. I hear people talking about it, but I think it's caused by insect bite or something. I have no idea. But when you have it, it's very hard to cure because a lot of doctors don't even know what it is. 562. 562. Maybe I'm gonna rest from greens a little bit, and this will be another green here. But once I've done this, these stitches, I'll probably move down a little bit and work on a little bit of brown just for a change. I need to stop trying to do two strands. It's just automatic, autopilot. Sean says a chronic fatigue syndrome. Yes, you're just feeling just crushed and down. She says there has been big medical gaslighting for decades. Hopefully, this helps prove that it's real. Yes, because I think medical doctors, they tend to they're trained to look at things that are kind of tangible. You know, you can quantify, you can measure tiredness. Tiredness. How do you measure that? It's a headache. How do you measure headaches? And so they tend to be less kind of sympathetic about that. But the suffering is real. Feeling tired is no joke. If it, you know, I remember the lady who was talking. She said there were days she couldn't even get out of bed. And I think a lot of doctors want to dismiss it as some sort of psychological things. But who wants to stay in bed? If you have the energy to get out of bed, why wouldn't you? And I think suffering is one thing, but even the medical doctors are not taking seriously. That's even worse, isn't it? Sarah say, I'm sure I'm a long lost princess. You are princess in my heart, Sarah. Okay, don't you worry about it. You got a crown from Suzanne. From Susan. So it's official. If you have a crown, you have a tiara, you've got to be a princess. That's how it works. Suzanne says doctors really treat you like it's all in your head when you have chronic fatigue or fibro. Oh, I can't pronounce it. It's pretty horrible. I know, because when we're suffering from anything with our body, we go to a doctor, we turn to our doctors to find answers. And if they look at you and go, well, it's not really a thing, but you know for a fact with your body, you suffer it yourself every day. It's got to be terrible. It's got to be terrible. I think our medical, scientific approach has its limit. It's all about tangible things, and a lot of conditions are not as obvious. Suzanne says, I'm not surprised that they're finding a genetic link. My mom and my grandmother both had this. So it's something that carry through birth, so you could pass it over to your offsprings. That's really interesting. But it would be interesting to know why it happens. It's like some people, they carry certain characteristics in their DNA that they're more prone to certain type of cancer, for instance. But it doesn't mean they will have it. It just means they they have that sort of predisposition. They could, they're probably more likely than regular people, but it doesn't mean they'll have it. So it's it'll be interesting what is, kind of a trigger for it becomes full, kind of start to manifest outward. I just think, doctors, they need to kind of, it's a balance of being a technician versus a healer, isn't it? But I think our doctors, medical doctors, they become more of a technician. They read data, stuff on the screen. They don't really connect. I mean, sweeping statement, I'm sure there are exceptions. They're not really fully connected with living, breathing people in front of them. It's all about data this, data that. And they forget that they're healers. And healing starts from the connection of caring and being understanding. And some of them just kind of lose that human quality sometimes. I'm sure there are very good doctors out there. So, I'm not saying they're all like that. One, two, here. Hey, Ebony's here. Hello, hello. Ebony's a floss tuber as well. A lot of you, I think many of you are familiar with her. I only recently learned about her channel. Welcome. Oh, Sarah says the name Sarah means princess. Oh my goodness. So there you go. It's official. Right, Suzanne says it's really difficult, especially you're a person who loves working and you just can't. Yeah, I think, if you can't even get out of bed and not having that enough energy just to carry you through the day, that's got to be quite tough. It's got to be tough. Sean says, I lost my career because of it. Oh my goodness. So did you know that your mom suffered from it? So when I find the link, or did your mom actually didn't suffer from it, but carry that sort of character, whatever it is, part of her DNA and pass it on to you? That'd be interesting to know because, why does it kind of, show the symptoms for some people and maybe not some others? And also, it'll be interesting to know your siblings, whether you have sisters or brothers that have similar condition as well. And if they don't, why not, And with ME, it tends to be female as well. Do men get it as well? Is that female sort of gender divide with the symptoms? I wonder. Or it's more of a sort of more female side of things. 562. 562. I'm going to move down here and do some of the orange and brown, just as a reset. Because my eyes tend to get fatigued if we start doing, similar colors for a while. Everything starts to get blurry. A17, A17, A17. It's a beautiful red here. Oh, perfect. Gray reset. And I think my needle is bent. I've killed another needle. I think this one, look, it's bent. There's a lovely curve there. There you go. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to destroy you, but it happens. Collateral damage of the power stitching that's going on here. Oh, I'm folding it at half again. Seriously, everyone. Do I ever learn? I'm doing 1/1. Okay, Yogi, focus. Suzanne says, I grew up with my mother and my nun having had chronic pain because of that was treated as normal. So I didn't realize having chronic fatigue and chronic pain was not normal until I was an adult. Wow. So you learn that it's almost normal to have pain in the body. That is so interesting. Yes, I think those type of condition can be seen as kind of more normal if someone in a family is having that for a long period of time. Yes. Oh, Suzanne, do you think? Yes, that's a very good point. Suzanne says what I need is a doctor who actually knows what chronic pain feels like so they can sympathize with the patients. But then if you have the symptoms, it's unlikely you would sustain a career as a doctor. That's a very good point. But I don't think I ever come across a male person that says I am me. I don't know. Maybe they just don't talk about it. River's back. Oh, Rose, are you going through the same thing as well? That is it quite a common thing then? And just because it's common doesn't mean it's easy at all. Rose says, from what I've learned, it's passed on to the females in the family, and rarely does a man get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Is that the same as the ME? Yes, but there are female doctors out there, aren't they? But then, as you said, that if you do have the symptoms, probably you wouldn't be an active doctor there. Joy says the needle is boomerang shaped. Oh my God, yeah, that's true. If you throw it, it will come back. If I throw that broken needle, oh, it's in my mini bin now. If I throw the needle against my fabric, would it just stitch for me? Because it's supposed to come back. If it's a boomerang needle, it'll come back. And if I keep throwing against my fabric, it would just keep stitching for me. Maybe faster. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my boomerang needle is going to stitch for me, and the speed is going to be faster. Very good. Very resourceful, Joyce. And it reminds me of I think it's kind of old, how long ago was that? Probably quite a few years back. I remember watching this TED talk, and there was this female brain surgeon. She was, quite young at the time. I think it was in her 30s, very successful, maybe graduated from Harvard or something like that, a brain surgeon. And then one morning she just got up and had a stroke. She had a stroke. And the TED Talk, probably some of you have seen it. It's quite well known. And she was explaining what happened in her head as the brain was basically going into a kind of a state that's half working and half not. And I'm trying to recall, I think it was the thinking part of the brain. That's the left side of the brain, isn't it? The mathematical, the rationality. It was bleeding, it was hemorrhaging, and but she was trying to call for help, but her ability to even dial a number was diminishing because the left side of the brain was literally, melting away because of the hemorrhaging. And but she was describing that almost being at one with the world because her left brain had taken over. So most of the times when we're thinking or process whatever's going on in our lives, we look at it, well, maybe sometimes a little bit more holistic, but most of the times we look at it in a very kind of matter of fact. We try to be rational, we try to look at the pros and cons and all that, data driven, kind of process. And because her left brain was literally non-existent at that time, she connected fully with her right side of the brain, which is that connection with the universe, you could say. And so she kind of vividly remembered what happened then. She felt like the border, the boundaries of herself literally disappearing, and she became part of everything else. She could no longer differentiate where she starts and where she ended. And even though her body was suffering from this catastrophic, stroke, and eventually she got help, but by then she was in a coma. She was only, in her 30s, and she was in a coma for years, had to relearn everything, and to speak, to walk, to talk, to walk. And eventually when she was doing TED Talk, she looked totally normal. And I think it was after many years. And but she said when she was in the coma, people thought she couldn't hear or understand what was going on out there, but she could. She just couldn't talk and, couldn't say anything. But also she was so happy. She said it was blissful. Even though, she was lying there like a vegetable, her mom literally had to feed her every day. And but she was so happy because her left brain was destroyed, but right brain was fully active and connect with the world. And it was extraordinary because she studies brains, she's a brain surgeon. Dr. Joe Bolden, something like that. I need to Google. It's a really interesting talk. But as a yoga teacher, when at that time, I wasn't a yoga teacher yet, but I was practicing yoga. And I was thinking, wow, it takes a stroke on the right side. If the the stroke was happening on the right brain, then, it might be a different result. But the fact that she only had her right brain to connect with the world, she came to that conclusion essentially is what we practice yoga, or any type of mind practice, is to connect with the world with your senses rather than interpretation of the brain. And I was so fascinated by that TED Talk. It's really worth looking up. It's Dr. Joe Bolton, something like that. It's been a while. And I remember vividly of that conversation, of that speech, so to speak. Rose says, I think it's more common now that it's been a medical term and it's harder to have a career depending on the stage of diagnosis. But is there any remedy or cure? Or, not even cure, just some way to maintain, sort of manage the condition? I think it's probably more recognized. I think people are probably more open-minded now with, information that's so free-flowing. So the doctors might not just have information from the patients from time to time. It's the fact that they can tap into so much more, the worldwide, sort of cases of this kind, and knowing how prevalent it may be. Alison says, I've had an unknown diagnosis of pain since I was 21. I'm now 45, and I don't have a day without pain or something kind of headache. Wow. So it's just pain of unknown origin. Is it always headache, or it could be any kind of pain? That is so interesting. I mean, it's no fun if you're suffering from it, but because I also remember I can't remember, it's a doctor, it must be a doctor. There's a book about this guy, I can't remember his name now. He says, well, the claim, okay, it sounds really sensational. He says the book, claim of the book is, I can cure any kind of pain within, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. I can't remember how long. But he's claiming that because if you think about what pain is, it's your body sending signals to your brain to tell you maybe something is going on with the body. You need to pay attention, right? Normally, that's what pain is. Just like hunger. If you're hungry, it's your body. Well, most of the time, okay. Sometimes it's just feeling peckish. But hunger, when it's functioning properly, is to tell you to eat, telling you the body needs fuel, right? So pain serves a function, and but when there's kind of crosswire of signals that's being sent to the brain, it could create pain that has no reason for. I think that's what he's saying. So following that logic, then if you know the pain can be, well, essentially is signaled by the brain, by addressing your brain, as a result, you could remove the pain. Makes sense? Obviously, if you get run over by a lorry, that pain is real. Okay, but a lot of discomfort, for instance, or mental pain, mental pain can cause physical pain. I think a lot of people who have suffered from maybe depression, sometimes there are physical symptoms as well, that the pains they cannot explain. But maybe there's some brain activities that's involved as well. So the body is not cut and dry. The body is not a machine. You just turn it on and off. It's so complex and so intelligent at the same time, but very complex. Roni says, my husband, misread that. My husband has it. I probably misspelled. I'm trying to understand it. His hand and yell in pain. And he's not able to walk for 5 minutes. Oh, so he knocked himself in some way, and he was not able to walk for 5 minutes. He has kidney failure and Parkinson's, but the doctor says not Parkinson's or kidney. Wow, there's a lot going on there. Alison says regarding the pain sensation she's feeling, mainly all down left side burn, and feels like body is on fire. Oh, wow, interesting. It sounds like nerve related, isn't it? I'm not a doctor at all. Just disclaimer here. I'm just because as a yoga teacher, a lot of students come to me thinking I can cure, anything, but I can't. I have limited knowledge about human body. I do my best, but and it feels heavy, like someone giving you a dead arm, leg. Oh, so pins and needles, dodgy back, slip disc. That's real though. That's a physical thing. Bulging disc. I wonder why would that be? And she says, therapist thought I had been in car accident. What? But why would you have slip disc? Because normally that's caused by either some sort of, posture issues or injury, some sort of impact. I don't know. Suzanne says only if you could just only you could just imagine the pain away, but it doesn't work that way. I bet it's not that easy. But I think this book, the reason it sounds sensational is that this doctor, I think he thinks it doesn't matter what pain it is, if it's not if that pain is not a valid pain, so to speak, as I said, because pain is supposed to be a warning signal. If it's not serving that as a function, it means the pain signal is malfunctioning. And according to him, you can address that through working with the brain. I think that's kind of, I probably butcher that, but I think that's the general message. And it has some merit to it. I'm not saying you can think it away. It's probably a little bit more involved than that. But it's an interesting angle to look at what pain is. I am going to end this at the stitch here. Let's take a sip of the tea. Alison says, I get migraine, tension headaches. Luckily, I can work from home and have really good employers. Yes, I mean, we're very lucky that, you know, there are alternative ways to have a, you know, work and career without necessarily having to go down the traditional way, you know, the conventional way. Yes, people have more choices now. Let me see, 2 down here. Make sure that I mark my stitches. 2 down. I move down here and do a little bit, a few stitches, and maybe work these part threads off this area. And I know as soon as I clear all the part threads, I'm going to want to come back and park again. That's just a way it works. Ah, Lorraine, just sounds like he's very sensitive at that point. Yes. It's like sometimes, you know, when you have a like a flu, really bad sort of virus, you know, a type, you know, what is it called? Kind of virus. What is it called? See, I don't even have cold very often. But sometimes you're down with some sort of virus, aren't you? And sometimes you get like hot and cold, but also you get really sensitive with your the sensation of the skin. Like tiny thing can kind of trigger discomfort and pain. There are all sorts of weird things going on. You know, when you describe something as, oh, I'm just really tired and have no energy, it just sounds so so difficult to quantify. You know, when people say they're tired, that could be caused by all sorts of things. And maybe that's why it's so hard to pin down what it is. Oh, River, very, very good point. Yes, I think I'm trying to track back your last comment. River says, before I retired on breaks, I would go outside in sub-zero temps in just jeans and a t-shirt. Well, at least you're wearing clothes, okay? This is a family show. And River says, I told them, well, people don't know how you did that. And she says, I told them my brain is telling me I'm stronger than a cold. Yeah, mind over matter. You know, if you see these monks in Tibet, I think, mountain, you know, high in the mountain, they literally meditate with no clothes on, and it's snowy, it's cold, it's freezing cold, and they're actually sweating. So, you know, not saying that if you practice that will happen, but there's an element of us that's beyond, you know, mind has a lot to say with our experience physically and mentally as well. So, but that's a good thing. That means there's one more tool for us to tap in to make things happen, you know, to achieve things. You know, you can be something that maybe becomes become an hindrance, but also it could be a weapon, a powerful weapon, to a powerful tool rather. You know, you can use to change things, to make things, you know, to achieve things. And essentially what Rivers is saying, I think, is believe, isn't it? That true belief in you, that, you know, in your mind, you're not cold, you're warm. Therefore you are. Hey, Travis is here. He says, hello guys. Wish I was at home and could stitch with you guys. I have 4 more hours of work to get through. Oh, Travis, but you can listen to us sneakily. No one will know. No one will know. I hope your migraine is better today. So yesterday, Travis was I'm not feeling too well, but so far so good, right, Travis? The Pokemons are waiting for you. Joy says, my stitching helps to distract me from pain. I bet. This is why stitching is so healing. It's not just distraction, it's the fact that you know, you're doing what you love. And when we're doing what we love and enjoy the experience, everything feels better. It doesn't mean it cures all problems or, you know, ailments, but close. Oh, you know, Joyce, I just did a May 51 as ending without even thinking. I just read it through. Maybe I was trying to do a boomerang again. But I ended up doing a May 52 as 51 as whatever. I've lost track. But I think I'm gonna do a tuck-in again. Oh, my body has the world of its own, is doing things by itself. there. Heather House says, my daughter has something called functional neurological disorder. She has chronic leg pain, tremors, and suffers from non-epileptic seizures. Non-epileptic seizures. She has had brain scans. That's interesting. Functional neurological disorder. Wow, there's so many sort of conditions that a lot of us, not commonly aware of. It must be challenging seeking medical care when it sounds like it's a rare thing, isn't it? And Heather says she has every test possible and has no physical or neurological reason for her symptoms. She has been in a wheelchair for 2 years. Wow, that's got to be rough, and so young as well, I suppose. I think when a condition is so rare, the question would be how many people actually are actively researching and doing something about it, because you do need people willing to research into it and find cures or at least study it. But there's a reality with medical industry that it's driven by money and profit, unfortunately. And researchers, they want to make a living. So unless they have kind of a sense of mission for whatever reason, they want to look into it. Sometimes a lot of symptoms, a lot of conditions just kind of left, kind of being unknown, unstudied. Can be very, very frustrating. River says, exactly, in my mind, the weather was what it was, and I was what I was. Oh, River, you sound like a yogi. Because even in a practice, just regular class that you go, sometimes you do very challenging things. But a lot of times the challenge is in the mind. I'm not saying the body doesn't, feel the burden when you're trying to get it to do things. That is hard, physically hard. But a lot of that, I would say, as a practitioner of yoga, you'd be surprised how much of that can be overcome with mind. Just clearing the mind, not even doing anything, like doing a meditation or anything during the class, is just understanding that it's really, because a lot of challenges coming from ego that we compare to others. When the person next to you is 5 times more flexible than you, and their arms are so strong they can walk on the hands, then we start to beat ourselves up. We have self-talk. But if part of the practice, or big part of the practice of yoga, is about having the right conversation with yourself, without being talked into comparison and all the things that's dispowering, and once you're clear with what you're there to do, is just really, really with your breath and with your body, there's nothing else, then then door opens, I think. And that you have to practice that every single practice that you do, because the mind will come in, ego will come in, constantly. That's how we're wired. And that's why you have to keep practicing. It's not a one-off thing. Oh, Travis says he came back about an hour ago, meaning the migraine. We're just, we've been talking about pain in a kind of uplifting kind of way. We're trying to find sort of doors. We're not sort of drowning in our, sorrow with the things we have to endure sometimes, or our loved ones have to endure, but we're getting together to, share these things. Sometimes, by sharing, door opens and your mind opens, right? We just feel lighter and better when we know the other people understand what we're going through. Not literally, but willing to understand. So that's what we're doing here. Maria says, I'm trying to catch up with Maria's comment. Maria says, I have a friend with the same. She went to a functional doctor. Oh, there's such a thing as functional doctor, and got better. She ended up having virus that did not leave her body and was probably the cause of the FND. As in, I'm trying to look back to see what that was. A functional neurological disorder. But sometimes finding a good doctor really makes a world of difference, Sometimes you're lucky to come across someone that's just thinking differently, out of the box. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3 here. I think I'm going to tuck this one away. And take a sip of my tea. Wow, Maria, so the treatment is actually working in your friend's case. River says you just need to step into the unknown with the unshakable belief that you either find solid ground to step on or be taught how to fly. Very well said, River. But I think the unshakable belief have to come from maybe not through knowledge, because you can tell someone to say, hey, just believe yourself. That's probably not going to work. It has to come from somewhere else. And that place is, that is the question, isn't it? I think that belief sometimes comes through when we go through challenges, and we, I think when we're given major challenges in life, we have two choices. One is to admit defeat and go, well, this is a rough deal I'm having. Or you find a way, and through finding a way, you discover that, you can find a solution for any challenge that comes your way. And the more you do that, the more you build up the belief that things can get better. There's always a way. And by no means I'm saying it's easy. And this is kind of the whole point. It's not easy. Comes from within. Oh, River, you're our guru. Guruji today. Guruji Rose. Very well said. Very well said today. As usual, River. And I think even within this small group of people in the chat, you know, there are already multiple people who have similar problems or, you know, facing similar challenges or have something to share. So, you know, maybe this is not as rare as we think. And we're not alone at all. We just need to share it, and someone might have information, wisdom to share with us. This is such a pretty color. This is. Oh, this blue I love. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 2. Okay, I knew I missed one row here. 2, 2, and 1. Sean says a big problem with modern medicine is that it's split into specialities which can be useful, but a person isn't looked at holistically as a whole, both physically and psychologically. Absolutely, Sean. I'm 100% with you. We're not body parts. So with all the specialists, yes, it's useful. The doctors, you know, they look into a specialized area and know more than a sort of general GP. But at the same time, it's just human nature. When you look into that department, you know, certain areas, you start to isolate that piece of knowledge from the fact that we're entire being. That's it, physical, and there's the mind, and mind is very tricky. You know, mind is so complex, probably even more than the body. And you can't overlook it when you're trying to treat someone. It doesn't work like that. But our doctors are trained as technicians to look into body parts, the heart, you know, the lungs, whatever. 3A46. Let me park it back. And River says, in the end, we're not humans having spiritual experience, but spiritual beings have a human experience. We need to understand that. Very profound, but very true. It's a simple truth. You know, because day to day we're conditioned to focus on things on a ground level. You know, go to work, wait for the tube, you know, underground, and you know, try to trying to earn money so we can pay bills, we can pay taxes, all these things. And these are, how do I put it? I'm not saying it's not important, but it's a structure that's man-made. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to try to catch the bus on time. We're not here to work 9 to 5 so we can pay bills and taxes. We're not here to clean houses even. I hope not. Not my favorite activity, but a lot of these things distract us so much that we lose the bandwidth to notice that that's not what we're here for. So, but not saying these things shouldn't be done. I don't know. It's up for debate. Taxes, hello. But you know, I think what River's trying to say, that's there is a one level up that we are experiencing, but maybe not noticing. Nine, 5, 8. 5, 8. Such a pretty color. This blue, I love it. Nikki says also our food source is probably not the best. Indeed, I think majority of the food we grow and buy in the supermarket, the nutrient is depleted greatly comparing to maybe, I don't know, decades ago. It's the soil, it's the chemicals. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Suzanne says, even after having my accident, they only gave me paracetamol. Yeah. But then painkiller is a tricky one, isn't it? You don't want to feel like you have to depend on the medicine. But I can totally get it. If the pain gets a lot, you just want it to go away. I get it. But medicine ultimately, because when we take a medication, it's not the medicines themselves that's doing things. They're essentially instructions to give our body to do certain things. So our body has to do the work. So the medicines are simply there to go, well, go do this and that to trigger certain events. So if you think about that, everything the body needs to heal is already here. It just matter. Yes, medicines have definitely have their own place for sure. And surgery, for one, I mean, you can't heal a broken, severed arm with meditation or just thinking about it. Yeah, surgeries, it's a blessing, but at the same time, a lot of our own illnesses that doesn't require surgeries, ultimately what medicines do is just providing body the instructions to perform certain tasks. And if the body can receive that instruction and do those things, can we get the body to do the same things without using the medicine? I'm not saying stop taking medication, okay? I'm no doctor. But if you think about it, because that, it's factual, the medicines are not there to cure the body. Is the body has to do the work in order to heal. And the body is designed to heal things. I mean, if you just cut yourself, even a small cut, instantly it starts to come close together, start to heal. And we see that happening all the time. If you have bruises, the next thing you know, is the body is trying to fix it in all sorts of ways. 996, I'm trying to see which color that is. So, maybe, just maybe, the more we can do by working with our minds. Again, I'm absolutely not saying stop taking medicines, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that body has potential to do things that maybe just like what medicines can do. And we just need to know how to do that. River says, 10 minutes after giving birth to twins, I was what? I was dancing with my sister. She was shocked, telling me I can't do that. I just gave birth. Told her she's funny and carried on again. Wow, River, you need to write a book. There's so many unusual things that's happening. After 10 minutes of your birth to twins, you were dancing. So you weren't depleted and tired and just want to sleep. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, Suzanne says, my bruise is even more epic today. I thought bruises would get worse before it gets better, doesn't it? Because sometimes when you, I'm very lucky I haven't had sort of any major injuries or illnesses, but I have been bruised before in my life, small bruises. But a lot of times when you first have the impact, it's red, right? And then it starts to bruise, it looks okay. And then, a few hours later, it starts to be swollen and darker. But that's a process of healing. It's actually not getting worse. So maybe your body is healing. Sometimes bruises look worse before they get better. But I hope it will go away soon. You're strong. I know that. And the body will heal. And you'll try not to fall off the bike again. Susanna, I'll teach you. Oh, that's lovely, River. You're such a sort of, great spirit. I like it. I can't remember who said it. The person said there are only two types of people in the world. One is the one that brings you energy, and the other one is the one that saps your energy. And when I heard that, I go, oh, I've got to check myself. Am I the one that's giving energy, or am I the one that's sucking everybody's energy away from them? So kind of made me very mindful with the things I do and say to others, and not to create suffering. We're not perfect. We have ups and downs with our moods and everything, but it's about, I think I've just tried to be mindful. And it has served me well, I think. Suzanne says, I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on, but my entire thigh, oh, the bruise is spread entire thigh now, going down my calf. It sounds like healing, you know. You might, it's hard to believe, but sometimes it starts to spread and it starts to go slightly yellow. I know everybody's having the visual in their head with Suzanne's bruises on the thigh area. But the body is working on it. It's working on it. Be patient. Be patient. 996. Such pretty, pretty colors. A little bit confetti here as well, so I've got to be careful and work on it slowly. I think I want to do a little bit of maybe of the red ones over here. Sounds nice. 720. Heather says, if you've depleted our energy, we won't return to visit every day. Yogi rocks. Oh, Heather, that is so very kind. So very kind. But you give me energy as well, you know. So we're feeding on each other. Good energy. Thank you, River. That is so kind. But I think even, you know, we're not physically in the same room, but I think energetically we can feel each other. So, you know, there may be people coming to the stream, the chats, they're not feeling it. You know, maybe just different kind of energy they want, they're looking for. And there are people who want to stay here because they're drawn to it, we're drawn to each other. And that's how we form a group that get along and have fun and want to come together every day, you know. It's a kind of natural selection process. Oh, Alison, very good point. Alison says arnica cream for bruises. So my mom tells me, yeah, I actually have a jar around the house. I have used it before. It's quite true. It's supposed to be healing bruises quite well. There are a lot of remedies, natural remedies out there. That helps, you know. Salita, thank you so much. In agreement with Yogi Rocks. Oh, that's so kind. One, two, three. And you guys rock as well. We all rock. How's that? Ah, Reva says, I think eating pineapple helps with bruising too. Really? I didn't know that. Yes, Lita. We all rock. I'm one of those people who literally have to hold me at gunpoint to go to the doctor. You know, I think I'm trying to count how many times I actually visited doctors in my life. Luckily, I'm very lucky. Maybe a handful of times, other than just regular checkup or dentist. You know, I've been to dentist a couple of times many years ago, but yeah, most of the times I don't know. I just obviously if you have, you know, major illnesses, you need to go to a doctor. Again, you know, don't take my advice. But yeah, I just a lot of times I think our body can find ways to fix things as long as it's not sort of major things, you know. But River says, I don't know what happened, but I rather enjoy confetti now. Yes. Well, sometimes you know, I like a challenge, and sometimes I like a break. So sometimes, you know, the way I'm working now is that I'll dip in and out of areas because I know this area is a lot more confetti. So I might do a few stitches here, and then I could jump out and do something that's a little bit more straightforward, so I don't get sort of frustrated. So I tend to kind of choose the method that allows me to do that. Otherwise, I just know I'm going to feel trapped. You know, if I commit to really strict block by block diagonal, and when I come across blocks like this one, I'm going to just feel stuck and feel frustrated. So I like to give myself freedom to move around if I want to. And maybe, you know, the stitches was scattered around, it might not look as neat, but I'm happier as a person. And why will I stitch if I'm not happy, right? One, two. Here, I'm wondering a little bit further down here. Ooh, racy pacey. I keep going down here a little bit more. River says, I wouldn't have gone to the doctor if they hadn't made it a requirement for the adoption process. Are you adopting, are we talking, not birds, you're not adopting birds. Are we talking about adopting kids? You don't have to share, it's if it's personal, absolutely not. You don't have to tell me anything. But I would assume that you're not adopting pets. I've got some cat hair. Cat hair here. We were talking about cat hair yesterday. So this is my high-tech solution, a piece of masking tape, and just dab it everywhere. I might go around a few more stitches around about 3 blocks away. So for me, that's kind of far. So I'm being quite brave today. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, River says, my husband and I are adopting our granddaughter. What does that mean? So why do you need to adopt? So if it's your granddaughter, I mean from your daughter or your trying to get my head around. Wow, that sounds major, like a major event. Salita says, that's looking really nice, Yogi. I'm liking the color. I know it's really pretty, isn't it? Such a vibrant piece as well. It's very mood lifting. If you fancy stitching some really bright and beautiful colors, this is the piece. Oh, and before I forget, so next Wednesday we're having a new start. If any of you haven't seen the piece, why don't I bring up the mock-up to whet your appetite, to seduce you to join us? Okay, so next Wednesday, every Wednesday is our Kim Jacobs stitch along. So many of us already stitching Kim's work, various pieces. But next week, you can continue doing what you do, but also you have the option to join us for a new start. Okay, so let me bring up the markup. So this is what I'm stitching now. And on Wednesday, next Wednesday, there's a group of us. The number is growing. We're starting a new piece together live here on the stream, and it is ta-da! This one. It's called Quilting Room. Sorry. It's by Kim as well, and it's absolutely beautiful. Just look at this cat here, and there's a sewing machine on the table, and there's a lovely stove and all the stuff, all the goodies in a room. And so this piece has a few versions. You could do the one I'm doing, and a few others are doing max colors, regular size max colors. Is there a max super size? I wonder, I can't remember, but there's a mini, and there's another version that's got like a quoted bits as a when you look at the blue frame, it's actually part of the design, so you stitch the blue frame as well. But there's another version that's got quoted. It's quite pretty, actually, quite intricate. For me, that's slightly on the busy side, so I chose this one. But some people choose the quoted one. They like a challenge, okay? And so that version is available as well. And I think Heaven and Earth is still doing the sale, so you can head over there and find this piece there. Just type in Kim Jacobs and Quoting Room. This will come up. And it's absolutely beautiful. So we're starting next Wednesday together. So it's a week ahead. So you still have plenty of time to get your fabric and your thread ready if you want to join us and join our Facebook group. Let me paste in our Facebook group URL here. It's also in the description, but I'll paste it here. I do it from time to time when we're live, so you can just look on top of the chat panel. You should see the link there just for your convenience, but the link is also in the description, so you can join our group and you can find support there. All sorts of things going on in our group every day, so come join us. It's fun. It's fun. Oh, River, hello. 93% with her second piece. She just completed one few days ago. 93, amazing. Round of applause for River. I can already see the trophies. It's amazing. Every 1% is a milestone. Absolutely. With this type of pieces that we do, 1% is like many stitches involved. Sarah, yes, it's beautiful. And River, well done. And we definitely have fireworks when you complete it, for sure. It's so nice to see people working on the piece. It's close to completion. I share the joy. Not that I've ever completed one before. That's why I love it. It's sharing the joy. Let's have a look. Do I want to dip in for a little bit of confetti? For a laugh? Why not? Let's do one stitch. Single stitch there. 6, 4, 3. 6, 4, 3. Or rather 6, 4, 7. That is so nice. So 1,000 stitches a day, is it? Forgot to end this one. And this color's only one stitch here. Definitely a confetti area. So let me see. Do I want to take it all the way down? No, I'm going to end it. Sarah's offering some cake there. Finally, she's sharing. Okay, Sarah, it's better late than never. Six, 4, 7. Just one stitch. And let me see. Maybe pick one that's got slightly more stitches. 3, 7, 6, 6. 3, 7, 6, 6. Salita says, how big of a fabric do you usually get for most of these? That's where I get lost at, and how much fabric to get. Salita, I've got a really good link to share with you, because this is a website, simple website, and this is the website I use to calculate the fabric I need. So just by type in the number of stitches, I'm going to paste the link here to share with you. So it's a really basic site, but it's so good. I've been using it, never had problems. So this is the site I use. So just by typing in the number of stitches based on your PDF, it will calculate for you for all the counts. We can have a look here actually. Why don't we have a little look on the website so I can show you. It's a really useful. I found this URL, this website ages ago, and I've been using it ever since. And I shared this one a couple of times. Let me just bring the browser over so we can have a look together. So what you do, I'm going to bring the browser up. Give me a sec. We're professionals here. And bring up my browser. Here we go. So this is the website. I've sent the link in the chat. And what it does, if you scroll down here, you could put in either inches, but I never use the inches. I just switch to stitches. And like this piece, I'm trying to see, for instance, if I use the new start we're going to do next Wednesday, it's got 450 stitches by 409. Okay, so it's almost square, quite similar. So it's not that, you know, landscape is not very obvious, and instantly you can see it populates the calculation here at the bottom here. So it tells you depending on what fabric count you're going for. So the stitch image size is actual size of the stitch area, but it adds for you the margin as well. I think it's about 5 inches on top of the whole thing, so it's about two and a half. I normally do a little bit more. I like to stretch it to 5 inches on each side if I can, just for the ease of framing and stuff like that. And this is it. It gives you a guidance on the fabric size you need. So it's quite handy, so simple, and I haven't had problems. I haven't run out of margins or any issues. So Suzanne says, I have an app that has a calculator. It's great. Yeah, I bet there are a lot of calculators here, like app-wise. But I just use this website. It's really, really simple. And you just, you can do inches as well, but it's not very accurate. So just do the stitches, and it just populates all, fabric counts. So you can have a scan to see, whether it's the size that works for you. So there. So River says all fun and games until it's cake involved. Let me get serious. Yes, cake is a serious business. Let me find my pattern again. No problem, Salita. So with this one, I'm going to stitch this one below here. There are 4 stitches, so not too bad, not too bad. And I actually received the fabric for the new project for Wednesday, and I've got a gridded version, 28. So for Swiss Shop, I got the plain fabric, but for this one, I actually got a gridded version. It's a slightly different stitching experience with the gridded, and also I got it for good reasons. Okay, no hints there, for good reasons. I need a gridding. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm still deciding on the stitches, whether it's, you know, half stitches or 4 stitches, full cross, and what thread, what a brand of floss I'm going to use, whether it's DMC or CXC. So what I'm going to do is to do a test. I'm going to stitch a few blocks. I've already have examples for DMC, so I'll do one for CXC as well to see the coverage and also the way it stitches, because it's all about the stitching experience, isn't it? On 28, which is kind of new territory for me, so I'm going to do the test and I'll share with you. So maybe you can use it as a reference as well. Four stitches here, a few more over here on this side. Nikki, no, Joy says royal rolls. Are you suggesting that's what I'm trying to do? And Alison says the place I use for my CX threads is amazing. I just sent her. Oh, the place I use my CX threads. I just sent her screenshots of the details and she works out my fabric threads list with the amount of scans. Sarah says typewriter. I'm going to keep you guessing. It's a surprise. You're going to fall off your chairs, okay? So fasten your seatbelts, you know, strap yourself on a chair somehow. I don't want you to fall over and get bruised or something like that. Oh my. Oh, Suzanne says the app I use is called Thread Stash. Lovely. So people can look up the app. It does calculations apparently for your fabric, and I think it probably does the amount of thread floss you need, right? It's quite handy. I never do the calculation for the amount of floss because I always get like small amount at a time, you know. If the amount I need is really tiny, then I don't mind that much, and I'll just top it up as I go. So I rarely do a sort of big, you know, calculation work to work out the full amount. But generally, I like to, you know, have more than less. So I'm playing on the safe side. If I'm running a little bit low, I try to top it up before I run out. Sarah, ECC, join the alien clubs. Ooh. Well, Sarah finally admitted that she's an alien. She stitches without gridding, okay, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know how that works. And I saw her picture that she decided to go ECC. ECC, if you don't know the terminology, is extreme cross country. So think about this. Extreme cross country without gridding, okay? Just have that thought in your mind for a moment. I started to get cold sweat just thinking about it. Joy says, I did royal rolls for 1 tower with saga, but I like it better for 3 towers at once. Yeah, I think if you do it in sort of saga way, what happens is you start from the lowest number of stitches, right? The smaller the area is, the more likely you get 1 stitch here and there and everywhere. But if you broaden the area, you probably reduce the 1 stitches greatly, because it's more likely to have more than 1 stitch. But if you do just, like a couple of blocks, then you probably get like, whole list of 1 stitch wonders. So, but if it's too big, I think for me, 6 blocks is kind of okay for me to travel. Beyond that, I start to get very lost. But I can imagine if you do an entire page, right? Entire page, that'd be crazy. You're just going everywhere. That sounds quite fun, but I'll probably end up with a very strange looking piece, knowing myself. It's official. Sarah is in the alien club with Nikki as well. We've got a few aliens here. They do like, if you do over 1,000 a day, you're alien. So River, you need to join the club as well. It's not normal, okay? It's not normal to stitch 1,000 a day. It's just not. Don't try to convince me. I'm not buying it. Joy says, I stitch the part threads first. So you park as well, do you? So yes, of course, you're a royal roan. So you park outside the block, the 3 blocks. Is it tower? 3 towers? Or I'm trying to read back what you're saying. Okay, 3 towers. So by a tower, you're talking about two blocks at least. So you're doing 3 at a time. You're doing 6 then, just like me. That's kind of my comfort zone. She says, I stitch the part threads first and then the onesies, twosies. Okay, Joyce, question for you. You're using saga for royal rolls and you're parking, right? So when you come to a new area, let's say if you do a single block, a single tower or multiple, doesn't matter. When you come to a new area and start from scratch, then you do the part threads first. That's what you're saying, right? If that's what you're saying, do you come across the problem I had yesterday? Basically, I was trying to work through the part thread within the area, but Saga is just not designed to do that easily. So does that mean you go through the multiple steps of locking the chart, flick the radio button, select a new color, unlock the chart, and flick the radio button, and do that for every part thread? You know what I'm talking about, Joyce, and a few others, because Suzanne as well. Suzanne, you said that you do that and you don't mind it. I don't enjoy that many steps just to do that. But if you're doing the part threads first, meaning that you are not following the minimum to maximum, or the other way, that you have to select the colors manually. If you know, you know. Manu sai. What is a manu sai? Oh yeah, this. Oh, is it? Has it got a name? I can't even do that. Oh, a bit tricky to do. Manu. Joyce is in the know. Nikki says, I think you're going to do a page ECC. Nikki's wishful thinking. Nikki's fantasy is that Yogi is going to go ECC with her, running down the sunset, skipping as we cross stitch, long distance, and never find our way back, just lost in the horizon. That's Nikki's fantasy. Sarah says, currently at what? Currently, currently at 1,170. Oh, slow day for Sarah then. Condolences to Sarah. Okay, sad music, sad music. Is there a sad music emoji for Sarah? Only 1,170 stitches today. Oh, seriously, Sarah, you need to do better, seriously. Alien Alien Princess. That's Sarah. Alien Princess. And River says, oh, Joyce, I do that too when I'm working within an area. So, River, are you working with Saga as well? Are you using Saga? Sean said, oh, it's Vulcan from Star Trek. You can tell that I do not know anything about Star Trek. I'm one of those people who cannot tell the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. Okay, I know it's extremely frustrating for people. I have no idea what the difference is. I think one's a movie, one is TV, but I think the TV version also has a movie. I have no clue. I know there are a lot of aliens involved. That's all I know, and some sort of spaceship. Okay, that's my limit. That's the range of knowledge I have with these two sci-fi titles. So don't judge me. I have no idea what you're talking about. River says you make it sound like trudging uphill in a blizzard, and it's not that deep. You get used to it. But if you're doing constantly, if I'm gonna do that anyway, I use Pattern Keeper, right? But I do enjoy the Saga benefit of the freedom of doing all sorts of things, crazy calculations. Why can't we merge both apps together? Guys, developers of both apps, listen to me right now, okay? And I can have your vote. Can we merge the functionality of both apps together? And also the import function from markup as well. That's the only thing I'll pick from markup, unfortunately. But import paper pattern ability all together. And then, I'm happy to pay the money to subscription or whatever. I'm happy to pay for a super markup app. How's that? How does that sound? Any developers out there? There's a market gap here for you to fill. Please do it. Just do it. 3-3. That's my speech over. Oh my God! Everybody's so in with the Star Trek. Oh my goodness! Salita is in as well. May peace be with you. Lorene says there's 5 steps to do royal rolls on Pattern Keeper. I do 3 steps on Saga. Are you sure, Lorraine? So, to switch color for Pattern Keeper, you just double tap a different color. That's it. Done. No? That's the thing I miss when I use Saga. So it makes me wonder, do people in Russia, they only stitch the Saga way, or they secretly are using Pattern Keeper without telling anybody? Maybe it's not allowed. I don't know. Five steps. What are the 5 steps though? Joy says I switch to auto selection. I'll switch off auto selection. How do you switch it off? That's my problem, because as soon as you have that border selected, the user defined selection selected, instantly it goes into that auto rotation based on your preference. I mean, there are different ways you can sort it, but it's sorting anyway. Can you switch it off? How do you switch it off? Marking is locked. Okay, so you lock the chart. I open a radio button to select the parts. symbol. Yes, you have to lock it to select it, otherwise you mark it, right? And switch the radio button back so the color of the selections of symbols are visible. Yes, so you just describe. So you have to explain auto selection, switch how to switch off the auto selection for me, but the marking is locked permanently, right? So you don't have to lock and unlock from the sound of it. But if you keep it locked, it means you cannot manually mark anything. So if you have within your area, if you have, let's say, 100 stitches remain for one single color, because at the end you're going to come across large number. Does that mean that you do not manually mark anything along the way until the end, and you do the bucket? For me, that would be impossible to do. I'll just get lost. Nikki says, I don't ever unlock the chart. So you guys don't do any manual marking, which I love to do, because if there are a lot of stitches, I need it. Or my brain starts to catch fire. Okay, that's not good. Yogi on fire. Sounds like a Morrissey song. Hairdresser on fire. If you know, you know. Maybe there's some Morrissey fans out there. Let me tease this one off the fabric. That's what I can't get over, because if there's a way, maybe I missed it. If there's a way I could switch colors quickly and do manual selection without having to lock and unlock the chart, it's a super app. It's a super app. I think it's a super app. It's designed to do certain things. There's, not the ones I'm trying to get it to do. Joyce, after stitching, I kick the bucket. Oh, what can I do without you, without your daily gold nuggets of wisdom? Oh, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, Joyce. You kick the bucket. Oh. And Joyce says, oh, the gesture, the nanu nanu gesture is also used by more from org. I've heard that before. I think maybe I've seen the repeat of the Robbie Williams. They're super old, aren't they? Were they in the 70s? The nanu nanu. I was wondering why I knew that, because I don't watch those films or TV series. No, nanu nanu. I don't know, whichever. It's alien language, so we don't know. You take a guess. River says it's a perfect world, Yogi, but then that's where apps are running into trouble. All these developers are trying to do everything to please everyone. Then everything gets wound up. Well, not if you design it properly, You're quite right. Things, maybe you can complicate things too much. But that's why we need super developers to create super apps. Any techies out there, I'm happy to be the persona that you need to design your app. And all of us can be personas. Oh, Joy says you switch off auto in a color menu. There's an A or car. No, but that's the car is auto navigation. The car is, it takes you to the location where the stitches are. If you are stitching in the big area, the car drives you there. But even with that switch off, it will still auto rotate through. Depends on the sorting order you want it, isn't it? Am I missing something? Because the A and the car, they're kind of the same thing, or maybe different. River, enjoy the dinner. Try not to go and hunt wild animals if you can, you know. And enjoy your 10 tons of vegetables, stir fries. Lorraine says you still have to click move, search. That's true. That's true. So Lorraine's talking about Pattern Keeper. You have to click move, search, mark, select stitches. Then that's very good point. The tabs for me is a problem. The tab shouldn't be there. I don't know why you need to switch from search mode, markup mode, and whatever mode, move mode. Yes, that's rubbish. That should go away. Because we don't use tablets that way, do we? I agree. But if you're within the search, but with the search, I never use the search tab because I just set the shortcut for the move tab. I can double tap on the screen and it search for that symbol for me. So that's one less tab. But still, you're quite right. There's no reason we need 3. It's just so weird. Where am I with this one? 3. And then 2 under here. Joy says, no manual marking except for a big amount of stitches. They are very scattered. Yeah, but so my question for you is precisely that, Joyce. So when you have a sizable area, you know, you've got 3 towers, and there, let's say there 120 stitches remain for that color you're about to stitch, and they're all scattered everywhere. It means you have to switch on you have to unlock the chart in order to mark, right? And that's when it gets a little bit inconvenient. But for me, I don't need to wait till 120 stitches. Anything beyond 10, I want that manual marking. So I'm guessing you can't do it. You have to unlock, you know, the chart. And Mandy, hello Mandy, Mindy, sorry. Mindy says, I used to get that all the time when I was younger. Hey, Mindy, where's Mork? Oh, we're talking about a TV series. I was thinking, Mindy, we're just talking about Mindy and Mork and Mindy. Yes. That's what happens when you have a name of a TV character. Suzanne says, okay, I better go to bed. My stitching price is visiting tomorrow. Yes, hopefully you can get a fabric, right? Is that the fabric friend? I need friends like that. Just give me free fabric. So 99, and I hope the bruises will get much better tomorrow. Every day is a new day, and the body heals overnight. So enjoy your sleep. 99 to Suzanne. Suzanne, and you know, and we'll chat. We'll chat again tomorrow. Joy says you can select with max or minimum stitches left. Yes. When you don't select it, it doesn't go to the next color. I'm trying to program that in my head. You can select with max or minimum. Yeah. So normally I go minimum to max. But when you don't select it, it doesn't go. But I think by default, you have to select one sorting order, no? That's the part I can't figure out because it kind of forces me to choose at least one. So, Salita says, night, night, Suzanne, have fun. Yes. Yes, good wishes to Suzanne. You must be really sore. So, tomorrow will get much better with the bruising. Oh, so the friend is also picking up your groceries. That's a great friend. That's lovely. Yes, we all need friends like that. And I can't look at the app right now because I'm using it to show chat. Otherwise, I'll grab it and have a look. But I will look later. If there's a way to turn off the auto rotation of the stitches, that might be one step a little bit better. Oh, Joyce, you're saying that you can unselect it. I'm gonna try that because when I'm working with the part threads, I don't want that to be on because it's annoying, right? Okay, so if you say it can be done, and I'll find it. I'll find it. And if not, I know where to find you, Joyce. You'll be hearing from me. That's good to know because I just haven't worked out how to unselect any kind of sorting order. So it just keeps jumping to the next color. Right, I think I'm going to pick just one more color here, and I'm going to pick one that's got a few more stitches. So, you know, I'm going to take a rest from the confetti area and move somewhere. It's a little bit more civilized. How's that? A17. A17. And Joyce is off to bed as well. 9-9 to Joyce. Well done, darling. It's 12:30 over where you are. You've done very well today. 99 to Joyce. A national treasure. Whichever nation of your choice you pick. A17. 9-9, darling. Joyce says, yes, I'm not going anywhere, but I hope you will let me sleep for a few hours. Yeah. Go take a nap, and so you can come back and answer to me, okay? You may sleep now. A17. Oh, it's a lovely red as well. Great choice, Yogi. This one. My final color here of this session. Oh, Sarah says my phone rang and kicked me out of the live. Will it do that though? There should be a separate action, isn't it? Maybe it does because it requires the sound, the audio. Oh, how annoying. It's so much better watching live than talking to some random people. It's probably cold calling. Yeah. I say, hey, you know, do you need extra, you know, I don't know, something in the house? Or they call you and go, congratulations, you won the lottery. Only that you haven't played lottery. You won the lottery. Please give me your bank account number and I'll wire all the money to you. But you need to pay a fee of £200 first. And then the rest of the money is yours. You know, transactional fees and all that. But you're going to be multi-millionaires afterwards. What a great deal. It must works, that kind of cause, because or they wouldn't be doing it. God, extended warranty or all important things in life. Gotta get that sorted, you know. At least it's not, you know, congratulations, you won the biggest prize today. I remember back in maybe not even that long ago, even legit, you know, calls from your bank, for instance. I don't know about America, but at least over here, they would call you out of nowhere with phone numbers that's not identified on your phone, so you don't know who's calling. And when they call you up out of nowhere, they actually ask you to identify yourself, to give them personal information. And it turned out it was actually legit from a calls from my bank, but they did it in such a way that was so stupid because I was thinking, hello, who are you? I don't know where you're calling from, and you want me to give you my name and address and whatever, you know, bank account details. I thought, well, yeah, nice one, nice try. And it turned out they're legit, but they just haven't thought through the process because essentially anybody, if that works, then anybody can just call anybody and go, hey, I'm from your bank, and you know, just give me your personal details. So now they changed it. Finally, they got their brains together working. They now would call you still from a random number, and once you talk to them, because everybody's got banking app nowadays, they will go, have you got your app on your phone? And most likely you do because you answer with the phone, right? And then they will go, well, go to the app and we send you a kind of a note there. So the message will go, are you accepting this call from us? That's whatever bank. And if you click yes, then they receive that, then you can proceed. But at least you know they're actually from the bank because they have access to the banking app. So it's a little bit better. Otherwise, you know, I can just call you up and go, hey, Sarah, you know, this is whatever bank. They normally, you know, probably just use one of the most popular banks that everybody has a bank account in, you know, and go, hey, you know, there's some unusual activities in your bank account there. And we need to verify, you know, it's all legit. So, Sarah, please give me your PIN number and whatever, date of birth, maiden name, whatever. Anybody can just call up people and do that. That wouldn't be good. But now they finally got their act together. Because previously I just hang up the phone. I just say, I'm not talking to you. I'll call the bank directly because I don't know who you are. So the final few stitches here. It's close to midnight here in the UK. Hard to believe. And a few more stitches on the left. Why not? I've got the technology. And I'm still pondering upon whether to use Saga or Pattern Keeper for the new project. Because once I do that, it's much better to commit to using the app, at least for a little while. I mean, you can switch, but it's a bit of a hassle. Like yesterday, I switched. But the pattern was relatively easy to remark the area because I've been working block by block. But if you've been doing cross country, it would be a pain if you need to change app. You have to mark everything everywhere. Sarah says someone called my mom and told her that her car was involved in a hit and run, involved a death, but she doesn't own a car. Good try. I know, they try their luck, don't they? They always come up with a scenario that maybe could happen to you. And I bet they probably, other than calling you, they probably already called 200 people, and maybe 90% of them saying, what are you talking about? But some of them will go, oh yeah, I do have a cousin and I have a car, and or something like that. So it's a numbers game for them. Nikki says, let's do Saga. And where are you starting it? Oh, that would be revealing too much, Nikki. I will be... Do you think Saga is... yeah, it depends on your... it depends on your stitching method. Okay, I would... you have two questions there. One is going to do Saga and where you're starting it. Okay, so I'm going to answer the first one. Okay, Nikki, you have my word. Let's do Saga. How's that? Yes. And as far as where I'm starting, I'm going to keep that to myself until the day. I've got to have something, guys. I've got to have something, Give me something. So I'm going to keep that as a secret, okay? And I will. It will be revealed. And all of you are going to fall off the chair. And yes, so if you're driving or operating heavy machines at that time, just find somewhere safe before you come to the stream, okay? I don't want any injuries or accident of any kind, sort of stitching related injuries. We don't want that, okay? So yes, we're partner in crime. And you're leading me astray, okay, Nikki? So I am going to do this one as the last one before I get lost, because you can just tell the concentration is diminishing as we're approaching midnight here in the UK, okay? I know it's daytime, it's broad daytime still, broad daylight. For Sarah, she just started her stitching day, and so 1000 is no biggie. She just got warmed up, okay? But for me, it is midnight. So let's have a look on what we've done today, my handiwork. And yeah, that so Nikki, Saga it is, okay? Yep. That's that would be my promise. And you'll find out where I'm starting with that new piece. Susan said Kitty Star. Oh no! Susan says Kitty Star. Okay, give me something, Susan. Stop it, you guys. Give me something, okay? I need something like I can reveal that day, and let me have it. And Sarah says that's what I was thinking. The covers. Oh no, you guys! I'm just so transparent, aren't I? No. Well, actually, I'm not going to say one way or the other, okay? Maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no, okay? I'm mysterious like that. Right. Oh, Sarah said 1254, just about the time I'm going to reveal my stitch count. Sarah, you're so cruel. Okay, here. This is what we've done today. So today, I've mostly work around this area. Okay, how many blocks I have no idea, but I cleared off some of the part threads from the previous session. So I've been block by block, color complete most areas, okay, and I'm switching to more sort of loose cross the town, cross the village, stitching. And so I've been clearing off the part threads here. So this area is relatively friendly, not too confetti, but this area, the stained glass area, the window area is pretty brutal. Even these ones, I think these 2 blocks took me entire session to do the last one. So, I'm trying to dip in and out so I don't get overwhelmed and start having to sit down and, hyperventilate. So I've done relatively okay so far. Looking at my stitch count as I'm going to reveal what I've done today. Sarah, are you sitting down? If you're operating heavy machines, you better sit down because you're going to be floored. And if you're driving, definitely park on the roadside before I reveal the stitch count. Okay, so today we're still under 19, okay, 20, but this is one of the most advanced pieces I have. As far as mini goes, we're veering into 20%. Okay, for me, that's a milestone. I haven't got any single piece that's, closer to 20. Majority of them are firmly single digit. Okay, so you have a picture. And today, the stitch count is, drum rolls, everyone, get the pizzas ready. I'm ready. 246 stitches. Yeah! Well done, Yogi. Yes. Throw any edible item on the emoji list at me. I'm actually slightly peckish even though it's midnight. So this is the number, 246 stitches around this area, which is not bad, which is over 2 blocks, right? 260, that's over 2 blocks I've done, guys. It's no joke. Rajal, night night. Rajal, night night. Rajal's heading off. And thank you, pizza and medals. And a cake as well. Amazing. It's edible, as long as it's edible, okay? And trophy I take as well. Oh, yes, that's a session today. And Nikki's dancing. Yes. Dancing girls have entered the chat as well. So this is my achievement today, my completion. A little bit at a time, is the windows are revealing themselves in front of us. Right before our eyes, Salita has donuts, biscuits, and is that a pie of some sort? And fortune cookies, and also edible time. That's a whole buffet there, Salita. That's fantastic. I'm hungry. It's official. Burger and chips. Sarah is going for the McDonald's option, and Steve is going for the greens, the healthy greens. But the thing in the middle, maybe cheese twists. What, I don't know. Something edible, and broccolis. Broccolis are delicious. And with that. With a whole buffet ready for me. Thank you everyone for your company. I had a great session today with you, and it's so much fun every day. Can you believe we meet here every day and we're still having fun? Okay, that's not normal. So with that, I'm going to sign out. Yogi signing out, and we're going to do this again. Yes, we are coming back to do this again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, your night. Nighty night from sleepy London town, and good night everyone. Nighty night. Have a great night and day wherever. Night everyone. Love you all.